Welcome back after the break, and we're going to continue with the map code that we're going to discuss. Now the map code also consists of some coordinates, and if you look at the definition of the map code, it's the title of the map and refers to the area that the map covers. Now if we look at it, the numbers in the map represents the lines of latitude that we discuss, as horizontal lines, and the lines of longitude. The first two numbers represents the latitude and longitude, and the letters DB refers to the blocks. But more importantly, let me just rather draw this map code for you and let's decipher it, because according to the name it is a code after all. In the case of the pole map, there you can see the map code 3318 dB pole. So that represents the latitude, longitude, and the blocks, big block and small block, that I will explain to you in a minute. Now if you look at pole, let's just use the map code of pole as an example. 3318 dB. Now 33 represents, what did I mention? Lines of latitude. 18 represents lines of longitude. Then what we do is, there's 33 degrees latitude, 34, 18 degrees longitude, 19 degrees longitude, and we've got ourselves a grid. And what we do is we divide our grid into 4 blocks, A, B, C, D. So D represents the big block. So let's just write it over there what we've done. 33 represents latitude, 18 degrees represents longitude, the D represents big block, B represents small block. Okay, so what we do is we divide our grid into 4 blocks, and as you can see we take D and we divide it up into 4 smaller blocks, A, B, C, D. In this case, where do we find pole? Pole is situated in small block, big block D, small block B. Now keep in mind, this whole map that you see over there, this whole map that you see over here fits into that block. Now very importantly, as we discuss this, as you can remember from the previous lessons, when we work with direction, north is always on top. But let's just do another example before we're going to continue with the explanations and the type of questions that you might expect. Let's use Durban as an example. Okay, let's make it up. Durban's got a map code of 2429. Let's call it CA. So first of all, the 24 represents the lines of latitude. The next one is going to be 25. 29 represents the lines of longitude at your vertical lines, and moving east 30. And C represents big block, and A represents small block. So we know that Durban is situated, the map of Durban is situated into this block over here. Now, what makes this interesting is what we're going to do is we're going to add direction to it, because the question is going to expect you to find the map code in a particular direction from the map that you're using. And what we've learned in the previous episodes, you got your 16 cardinal points. And when we look at direction, it's north, east, south, and west. Northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. So you're going to use one of these cardinal points to determine the map code from the map that you're using. Now I'm going to use pole map again, and we're going to integrate the direction with it. Now a simple example is the question that you're going to get. Provide the map code east of pole. Now let's make it rather let's say west. Now very importantly, if we look at pole, what's the map code again? I think it's 3318 dB. 3318 dB. Now very importantly, first thing that you need to do, go and draw the grid. 33 represents latitude, 18 longitude, A, B, C, D. So we know that's where pole is situated. Now the question states, provide the map code west of pole. Now remember, the whole map fits in this area, so north is always on top of the map. There's north, there's east, there's south, there's west. So what is the map code west of pole? The degrees of latitude stays exactly the same, 33. The degrees of longitude, 18. It's still in big block D. It's not anymore in big block B, so it moved west. So what is west of there? Small block A. So your correct answer will be 3318 DA. Now, it can get a bit more intense because the direction might jump to another degree of latitude or degree of longitude. So if this question, for example, stated, let's do another one. Provide the map code southeast of pole. And we're going to stick with pole's map code, 3318 dB. Let's just quickly do that. Draw the grid. 33, 18, 34, 19. A, B, C, D, big block D, small block D. So now the question states, provide the map code southeast of pole. There is north, there's east, there's south, there's west. And what's southeast? That direction over there. As you can see, it moved to another degree. Okay, in this case, the latitude stays exactly the same. This latitude stays exactly the same, but what has moved on now? The lines of longitude. So it moved into a new grid. So what's the latitude going to be? It's going to be 33, 19, A, B, C, D. It's going to be big block C, A, B, C, D. Big block C, small block C. And that will be the correct answer if you had to provide the map code southeast of pole. Now, like I've mentioned, it can happen that the degree of latitude can also change. It can happen that the degree of latitude and longitude can change. Now, I'm going to give you an example of that just now. So let's use the map of Durban again, of Cape Town. Provide the map code southwest of Cape Town, and Cape Town's map code is 1820 CC. Now, first of all, go and construct your grid. 1820. This is 19. This is 21. So we know Cape Town is found at 18 degrees, 22 degrees longitude, A, B, C, D. Big block C, A, B, C, D. So we know Cape Town is situated over there. Now the question states, provide the map code southwest of it. Now let's just quickly fill in our direction again. North, east, south, west. So that's southwest. Pay attention that not only does your degree of latitude change, but your degree of longitude changes as well. So let's just give me a little bit of space over there. So what happens now? We're moving to a lower, higher latitude and longitude. So what will be the new lines of latitude? It's going to be 19. Longitude is going to be 17. A, B, big block A, small block B. Okay, very importantly, so please pay special attention to your direction when asked this map code question. If we just go back to the map code, first of all, if we decipher the map code, it consists of a latitude line, it consists of a longitude line, it consists of the big block that you construct out of the grid and the small block that in the grid as well. After the break, we're going to have a look at vertical exaggeration. Please stay tuned and don't go anywhere.